Yes, you can make self-discipline as effortless as scrolling. I understand a lot of you guys might have watched some motivational videos to stay on track and work on your goals, but those videos didn't work for the long term. You get a spike of motivation, which encourages you to start working, but after a few days, you get back to normal routine. And the worst part is now the word discipline sounds scary to you. I have been there, and I know how painful it is. But what exactly can we do to become disciplined like all those successful millionaires and billionaires? What do these top performers know that we don't? To find out, I watched almost every single video available on this topic, read hundreds of articles, and 27 pages of notes later, I discovered that we don't need to go outside to be disciplined. Discipline is self-love, and it's inside us. Therefore, in this video, I am going to explain this self-love concept of being disciplined in detail to all of you, but that's not all that I discovered during my research. I found 3 more simple yet effective techniques that made self-discipline as effortless as scrolling for me. And today, I am sharing all 4 of them with you so that you can work without motivation, be consistent with your efforts, stop procrastination, and start achieving your goals easily. So the key idea for the first technique is that if you really want to effortlessly increase your discipline, you've got to design your environment in a way that makes it really easy. So if, for example, you are trying to be more disciplined to go to the gym, then having your gym clothes out and in front of you when you wake up so you can put them on first thing in the morning makes it way easier to actually have the discipline to go to the gym. Similarly, if you're trying to be more disciplined and not eat unhealthy food, then just not buying junk food when you go to the supermarket and shoving it in your fridge is a way of designing your environment in a way that makes it easy for you to be disciplined in that context. Next time you struggle to be disciplined, ask yourself, what does your environment look like? Have you actually designed your environment in a way that makes it way easier for you to do the thing that you think you want to do? But there is another similar strategy that works even better, and only a small subsection of people are currently using it to be disciplined. It's called monitoring and tracking. And basically, the idea here is something from management literature, which is what gets measured gets managed, and what gets measured gets improved. And there have been a bunch of studies that have shown this. For example, for people who are trying to lose weight, just the act of weighing yourself every day and just looking at that number means by default you end up losing weight because now you're more aware of this thing that you're trying to do. Similarly, if you're trying to build muscle at the gym, everyone says you should track your workouts and you should take progress pics and maybe even like measure your biceps and stuff, because tracking those numbers and seeing improvements over time is a massive source of motivation and therefore helps us be more effortlessly disciplined. And there are 3 key reasons why monitoring the things that you want to be more disciplined in actually works. The first one is motivation. So seeing ourselves make progress in a thing that we care about is enormously motivating and drives something called intrinsic motivation, which is where you do the thing for the sake of doing the thing, and feeling yourself improve and level up and stuff is just a profoundly motivating thing that we can do. Secondly, monitoring gives us a feedback loop, and so when we can see the result of the actions that we're taking, we can adjust our actions accordingly. And thirdly, monitoring gives us clarity about what's working and what's not working, and so again allows us to adjust what we're actually doing. And that means that you can focus on the stuff that's actually moving the needle for the results that you want, which means you have fewer things to focus on, which is also a thing that helps discipline. Now, the third technique that I want to talk about as a way of effortlessly increasing your discipline is to find a way to make whatever you're doing a little bit more enjoyable or energizing. Like, when was the last time you felt you needed discipline to watch Netflix? We tend not to need discipline for those things because those things are inherently enjoyable. The things we need discipline for are the things that we don't enjoy. So you only need discipline to go to the gym if you don't enjoy going to the gym. You only need discipline to study for your exams if you do not enjoy the process of studying for your exams. Now, at this point, a lot of people think, well, I've got to do hard stuff, and we all have to do things we don't enjoy. And yes, it's true that we all have to do things that we don't enjoy at times, but there is normally an enormous list of things that we can do to make whatever we're doing a little bit more enjoyable and a little bit more energizing. For example, let's say you are struggling with discipline when it comes to studying for your exams. Ask yourself, what would this look like if it were fun? How can I make studying for my exams a little bit more enjoyable? Could you have some Lord of the Rings instrumental music in the background while you're studying? Could you go to a different library or a coffee shop each day of the week so it feels like you're going on this adventure? Could you find a way to make your notes aesthetically pretty and color code your timetables and stuff just as a way of making the process of studying a little bit more pleasant? Now, I'm using students as an example here because we have all probably been students at some point in our life if we aren't already. But this really applies to absolutely everything in our life, because when you're having fun with what you're doing, productivity and discipline and motivation and all of that kind of stuff just automatically takes care of itself. And once you've done that, you broadly won't have to worry about discipline ever again. This perfectly relates to our most important point, which is discipline is a form of self-love. Just start doing things out of love instead of doing them out of shame. Whatever good habits you want to start implementing, whatever bad habits you want to get rid of, you're doing these things because you love yourself, not because you're in trouble, not because you're a bad person, or you've been a bad person, or you've been doing a bad job. We always want the best for ourselves because we love ourselves, and it can be hard to truly feel like that sometimes because society teaches you that if you're not doing this, then you're not doing enough, or if you're not making this much money, then you're not good enough here, or if you don't wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, then you can't possibly be successful and be rich. None of it is true. You can really truly make the rules of your own reality because you are living in your own world. There is so much power in you deciding what rules work the best for you. So for example, if you're the kind of person who's on TikTok right before they go to sleep and you're recognizing that that is no longer serving you, it can be hard to let that go when it can feel like a lot of pressure that like, oh my gosh, it's 10 p.m. right now and I'm still scrolling through TikTok. What is wrong with me? And then you feel this shame and then you feel this guilt and then you're mad at yourself when you're coming from that place of fear and anger of, oh no, I did something wrong, so I need to change. It's not going to help you, but when you start shifting your perspective and realizing that, oh, I'm putting my phone away because I honor myself and I love myself and I want to give my mind that time to settle down and to relax and to not have other people in my ear in my subconscious mind before I fall asleep or right when I wake up, when you start having that loving perspective for yourself, discipline and healthy habits become a lot easier because you realize you're doing these things out of love instead of out of shame. But there's still a problem left. You learn to be disciplined, which will help you stay consistent and work on your goals effortlessly, but you will not be able to achieve those goals in shortest amount of time if you don't work smart. Therefore, I have made a video to solve this problem and shared 5 easy strategies that will help you reprogram your brain to become smarter so that you can achieve more in less time. I would recommend you must check it out. See you there.